Technology in Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh, to elucidate on future of news reaching 1 billion homes.
Let's welcome Dr. Jitendra Singh on stage, please, for his
A huge
keynote
round
address.
of applause.
Thank you for your kind introduction. In fact, I was about to come and I then realized the introduction was still carrying on. So thanks for reminding me of many of what oneself tends to forget. Nevertheless, I must confess, I actually didn't know where I am going, what I am going for. So I received a message from Arnav and I am here because I knew it was going to be a good cause. And I think that about all defines the credibility of NBF. So I was sure Arnav and his team is up to something, so it has to be a good cause in the national interest, and that's precisely what I'm seeing over here. And I was just now told that it's 3 years old, and I must also have, I think I have no hesitation saying that Arnav and his team have, and the entire lot of this federation has actually sought to change the narrative in news reporting and also news comment. Somehow, though it doesn't seem very flattering saying, in the years, bygone years, there was a trend of sounding intellectual by being slightly anti-India. And that somehow, the mindset stepped in that it was synonymous with intellectualism. You had to be unorthodox, you had to be rebellious, out of the way, you had to sound little anti-national so that, and if you could grow a long beard, that it will supplement your persona. But I think that's very amazing. I've been saying this even for many years now, because I'm glad that now the NBF has taken up this cause. But when we dare, I think 2008, when we had the much widely publicized this Amarnath land agitation, and this was one of the only channels possibly which was supporting the cause, the channel which was then being managed by Arnav. And even in those days, I always said that this is a mindset which has got in because of our legacy of carrying the hangover of feudal past. And it seems very fashionable talking like that, though it's not done even in the most advanced countries of the world. So once I narrated an anecdote, soon after the 1965 war, when President Johnson had taken over in US, because Kennedy got assassinated in December 64. And there was a press briefing by the President, that was soon after the war was over between India and Pakistan. And as usual, the President was narrating how the so-called Kashmir issue needs to be resolved, this, that, and the will of the people, etc., etc. So we had a journalist, I'm sure the old-timers will remember Mr. Inderjeet, who later on became a member of Parliament also. So he used to tell, he said he suddenly got up and he said, Mr. President, don't you think many of the American states have also become a part of the United States in a similar manner, acceded or taken over Atlanta, Georgia, etc., etc. So the President immediately lost his cool and he said, gentlemen, we don't open closed chapters. That is a closed chapter. But in the Indian media, somehow it became fashionable to open the closed chapters and not let any chapter close down. So even if you had to discuss Kashmir, you had to discuss Northeast, you had to discuss it with a narrative which would appear as if India is at a gross fault or committing a sin by taking a position that it is taking. And I'm glad that this group of enlightened journalists have actually sought to change that narrative. It is no longer unfashionable to be a pro-Indian journalist or a pro-Indian thinker or a pro-Indian intellectual. So to my mind, I think in a single sentence, that is